Welcome to Boxing's Best, the home of elite fights, brutal knockouts, fight night drama, and the moments that define champions. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the best boxing content on YouTube. Now, let's get into it. This is not supposed to happen. Weeks before the biggest fight of his life, Jake Paul walks into public with a black eye, a crooked nose, and whispers coming out of his own camp that things in sparring are going very wrong. And today, I'll be breaking down the footage, the names, and what's really happening behind closed doors as Jake Paul prepares to fight Anthony Joshua. Jake Paul didn't get this black eye in a street fight. He didn't get it in a prank. He got it in the gym, which he himself confessed to. And the man responsible, Lawrence Okolie.
I think Lawrence Okolie did that to me. He's like 6'6", 270. I think Lawrence Okolie did that to me. He's like 6'6", 270.
Lawrence Okolie, a legit world-level heavyweight. A man who's done plenty sparring with AJ, especially during their Team GB days, with Okolie often serving as a sparring partner and mentee, though Okolie has since moved to heavyweight himself and now wants to challenge for titles. They have a long history of training together, with Anthony Joshua even managing Okolie's career briefly. Okolie has shared the ring with elite fighters, and has reportedly rocked Jake Paul hard enough to leave visible damage. That alone tells you something important. This camp is not scripted. This isn't light YouTuber boxing. This appears to be Jake Paul taking real heavyweight punishment. Now, let's talk about the sparring partners, because the names and their professional experience really matter. Jake Paul's camp has included Lawrence Okolie, former world champion; Frank Sanchez, Cuban heavyweight with serious power; Jared Anderson, one of America's most dangerous prospects. These are not influencers. These are not retired ex-fighters. These are men who punch for a living. And according to Paul himself, one of them cracked his nose. Now this is where the internet splits in half. The supporters say, this is elite preparation. Jake Paul is leveling up. Critics say, he's getting tagged, he's getting bullied, and this is only sparring. Watch his footage closely. Look at the balance. Look at the head movement. Look at how often Jake Paul is resetting under pressure. This isn't domination. This is survival. British fighter Vidal Riley dropped a line that turned heads across boxing media. He said Jake Paul is getting beat up a lot in sparring. Now listen to that carefully. Not losing rounds, not having tough days, getting beat up. That doesn't mean Jake Paul can't improve, but it does mean he's taking damage. And damage adds up. Myth versus reality. Myth: Jake Paul is dominating heavyweight sparring. Reality: he's taking clean shots and visible injuries. Myth: this is controlled, light work. Reality: broken noses and black eyes don't come from light work. Myth: sparring proves he's ready for Joshua. Reality: it proves he's brave, not that he's ready. There's a huge colossal difference between these three sets of opinions, and on the day we'll see how things pan out.
Yeah, he's very big.
All this leading up to the fight with AJ is terrible news for Jake Paul. Because Anthony Joshua is not a sparring partner. Joshua hits harder. Joshua finishes faster. Joshua doesn't stop when you shell up. If Jake Paul is getting clipped in camp, what happens under stadium lights in front of tens of thousands of boxing fans, against a former unified two-time heavyweight champion? This is in no way disregarding Jake Paul. This is simple physics. Here's the truth. Jake Paul deserves credit. He didn't run from real work. He didn't cherry-pick easy sparring. He himself reached out to AJ for the fight. He stepped into the fire. But fire hardens steel, or it exposes cracks. And right now, the bruises, the footage, the insider comments, all point to a fighter being tested at the absolute edge of his limits. December 19th doesn't ask questions. It gives answers, and could be dangerous. The boxing world isn't split. It's united. Joshua is bigger, stronger, smarter, and far more experienced. The majority of professional fighters and boxing analysts view Joshua as a heavy favorite due to size, experience, and power. Paul's chances are widely regarded as very low, single-digit %, though not zero, mainly because anything can happen in boxing and Paul has pop in his punch. Joe Rogan warned that the size and skill gap could make this a severe mismatch, questioning Paul's chances due to Joshua's punching power. Joshua is a dominant favorite amongst the boxing pros and analysts with overwhelming likelihood to win. Some voices, like Hay, have speculative upset viewpoints, in the context that in boxing, especially heavyweight boxing, anything can happen, but these aren't mainstream professional predictions. Critics like Matt Brown dismiss Paul's realistic chances entirely. Fight night will answer everyone's questions, and certainly determine whose predictions are correct. If you want the real breakdowns, not hype, hit subscribe, like, and select the notification bell. Drop your verdict in the comments. And tell me, does Jake Paul survive Anthony Joshua, or is this the beginning of the end?